We are now going to go and say a very good morning here to the Honourable Member for Cartwright Lance LeClaire, Ms. Yvonne Jones. Good morning, Yvonne.
Good morning, Randy.
How are you?
I'm doing great, sir, and I'm sure you are as well.
We are indeed.
I'm giving you a call this morning on the article that was in the Evening Telegram with regard to funding for the Adult Basic Education Program on Bell Island.
Yeah, I asked the question this morning. I don't know if the guy is a hero or if he's a heel.
Well, I have no idea, but I think it warrants some answers, and that's why I'm raising the issue. I had the information, of course, provided to me by people that were involved with the program on Bell Island, and I looked through the information, and it raised a number of questions. And first of all, why adult basic education money would be funneled from the government to a junior hockey team, and a hockey team that's no longer in existence and haven't been for a number of years. And that was the part that I found.
For that,
they had no computers, and I thought that was very unusual. So I had my office make some calls to these students, and sure enough, I verified that this was the case. So I think it warrants some clarification, first of all, by the Department of Education and Government as to why they're giving out grants for adult basic education, but not providing the necessary tools for students in the classroom to learn appropriately, and why they're giving it out to charitable groups like hockey teams. And I want to see some accountability for this money. So far, I have not found any public announcement of where the money was provided to the Bell Island Junior Blues. And I don't know if there was a public announcement. I don't know how much money was provided to them. All I can account for right now is the salary that was paid to the instructor. And if there were extra monies, where was that money spent? And I think those things deserve to be answered. The other thing that I have to question here is with regard to MHA Dave Brazel, and whether Mr. Brazel, as you said, was doing everything legitimately and trying to help his constituents, and this was the only way around it. I don't know. But there is a case here where he was listed as the person responsible for this hockey team. He signed the checks that was paid to the instructor in the Adult Basic Education Program, and he signed a record of employment upon determination of employment. And I find that unusual because having been an MHA for quite a while in this province, I have not seen a case where government money has went to an organization operated by an MHA, and that MHA was then responsible for distributing the money, writing checks, and issuing records of employment.
Well, you know, according to Mr. Brazel, and by the way, he's listening to you. He's on the line.
Oh, I know. Pat told me.
Okay, he's listening to you. He said before he was elected as the MHA for Conception Bay East Bell Island, he was involved with a bunch of organizations, including hockey. He helped to get this adult literacy program. And he said when they couldn't find a community nonprofit group to sponsor it, well, he arranged for the Junior Blues hockey team to actually set it up because they were a registered non through that system and get the program in place. Now, the team went under, right? That was no longer there, but the program was still there. So he said, look, they had an employer's number. We had a checking account. We had the checks. So we went ahead and did it to keep the program running. So, you know, he was being innovative at that point in time, one could argue, as opposed to simply saying, well, we have no one to do the program, so we'll let it die. He said about to keep the program going, and that makes him innovative. Now, the bigger question, I think, goes to the effectiveness of the program. What were the outcomes? How was the program delivered? Have the books been audited? All that. I think all of that is a necessary piece here, isn't it?
Well, I think it is, and I hope that, you know, Dave is going to give us some clarification around this issue when he comes on, because I know that listed at least on paper, whether they exist or not, I don't know, is the Bell Island Adult Education Association. I don't know who those people are, but I do know that they received a grant from the government 2 years in a row for $121,000. So if there is a Bell Island Adult Education Association, why are they not delivering this program as well? And why is it being delivered by a hockey team that is no longer in existence? Like, there has to be a level of government accountability here as well, you know, in terms of how you issue money. The other thing as well that I found very concerning for me is that the instructor was hired and the program started in about a month after Mr. Brazel was elected as an MHA. And there was no record that I could find of this program in existence before that and this money being made available. So all of this happened after he was elected as the MHA. So I think that in itself deserves some clarification. And if there is some conflict here, I think it needs to get resolved. And if there isn't any conflict, I guess that's a different issue. But it doesn't change the fact of how government is issuing money for adult basic education programs in this province, who they're issuing checks to, and what level of accountability is associated with that funding. Because when you have students going into an ABE program that are telling me, like they did yesterday, that they had no desks, they had no phones, they had no computers, they had no telephones, they didn't even have good drinking water in the facility that they were in, that causes me a lot of concern. They actually went out and bummed textbooks from a school so they would have some textbooks to use. That is not how you deliver adult basic education in this province. I'm
going to stop you right there, Yvonne, and move on. And I'm going to talk to David and get his response to those questions.
All right. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you for this.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that's the honourable member for with the opposition Liberals, and she's obviously a critic for that department.